In today's chess video, I am going to show you an amazing chess opening trick which will help you win more games. So stay tuned till the end. So the trick I am going to show you is called Stafford Gambit. White starts with the king's pawn opening, pawn to e4. Black plays pawn to e5, very common moves. Then knight to f3 and knight f6. We have the Russian game on the board. From here, white plays this very natural move, capturing the unprotected e5 pawn. Now, instead of taking this pawn with our knight, we are going to set up our trap. We will play knight to c6, inviting white to exchange knights. If you analyze, this is actually a very good deal for white. He is already a pawn up, and now, by exchanging knights, he can damage your pawn structure. So he goes for it. Knight captures knight, and then we capture this knight with our d pawn. Now if you see, white's central pawn is being attacked by our knight, so he will try to protect it and maintain the advantage. In this situation, you will generally see two responses from white. He can either play pawn to d3 to support this pawn, or he can move his pawn forward to e5 to attack your knight. First, let's look at what happens if he plays pawn to d3. If he does this, then you should bring out your bishop to c5. You are setting up your attack on this weak king-side pawn. A very natural move from white would be bishop to g5, pinning this knight. But you need not worry. It's time to surprise your opponent. Just go ahead and capture the e4 pawn with your knight. Now, if white captures your queen, which he most probably will, then you will play bishop to f2 check. The white king has only one square to go, so he will have to play king to e2. And finally, we play bishop to g4, and it's a beautiful checkmate.
Let's go back a little. Now from here, if white decides not to capture the queen, but instead he captures your knight like this, then you will play this stunning move bishop to f2 check. He cannot take the bishop with his king, because if he does, then his queen is gone, just like this. So he will have to play king to e2 to support his queen. But then we will bring out our other bishop and give check. And finally, when the king moves away, we can snap up his queen.
Let's go back again. In this position, another common move you can see from white would be bishop to e3. The idea is to block your bishop from attacking on the king side. But when you exchange bishops like this, it opens up another diagonal for your queen to attack. So after this, we play queen to h4 check. King to e2 can't be played because queen f2 is checkmate. So white has to block with his pawn like this. Now we can safely capture this pawn with our knight. If this pawn captures our knight, then we can take this rook with our queen and we are at a solid advantage. If pawn does not take the knight, then he will have to play rook to g1 because it is being attacked by the knight. We can then have a discovered check by playing knight to e4. Again, he can't move king to e2 because then queen f2 would be checkmate. So he is forced to block the check with his rook. The best move in this case would be queen takes pawn on h2. White has to save his rook and also block the checkmate threat, so he will have to play rook to g2. Then queen e4 check and king e2. Now our bishop jumps into action with a check. Rook has to capture the bishop, but then queen f2 is checkmate and it's game over.
Now let's go back and look at the second variation I was talking about earlier. Let's see what happens if white moves his pawn forward and attacks our knight. Well then, we will have to save our knight. So we will play knight to e4. White is obviously feeling a little uncomfortable with this knight in the center. So he will continue attacking it by playing pawn to d3. But to his surprise, we are not going to save our knight, but instead, we will bring out our bishop to c5. If your opponent tries to be greedy and takes your knight, then he is gone. Let me show you how. So, pawn captures knight. Then we play bishop to f2, check. Again, king can't take the bishop because his queen is hanging. So he will again have to play king to e2. Then again, we play bishop to g4, check. And after the king moves, we can grab the queen and win the game easily.
That's all for today. If you enjoyed this deadly trap, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to Chess Short Trap, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss another winning idea. Keep practicing, keep improving, and I'll see you in the next game.